Welcome to Haunting Resonance. I am your guide through the shadows, Veylin Noct. Tonight's story drifts between truth and the unknown, drawn from both fragments of real events and whispers of fiction. It was pieced together using various sources, and if there are any mistakes, I offer my apologies. If you have ideas or stories of your own to share, please leave them in the comments. Now, settle in, let your mind open to the dark, and enjoy. Hello there. I want to tell you a story. A true story, at least for me. Curiosity is a flickering candle in the dark, but some darkness swallows the light. Listen, but tread carefully with the knowledge I'm about to share. I was a skeptic. Ghosts, spirits, just stories, until one journey changed everything. My name is Rohan, and this is how I found Daring Hollow, or how it found me. This isn't just a tale to scare you, it's a warning. I need to tell someone what happened, to get it out of my head. Maybe by sharing, the weight will lessen, or maybe it'll keep someone else from making my mistake. Some mysteries are beautiful, but others are locked doors with terrible things behind them. I went looking for the key, and I was foolish enough to use it. I opened a door that should have stayed shut. So I invite you to listen. I'll tell you everything just as it happened. I want you to feel the chill I felt, to understand the dread that now walks beside me. This is the story of a place lost to time, a hollow filled with secrets, always waiting for someone new. My story begins far from haunted hollows, in the dusty archives of a small town in the hills of North India. I was a junior archivist, sorting through forgotten government papers. One afternoon, I found a thin manila folder, Daring Hollow, Inquiry. I'd never heard of Daring Hollow, though I knew every village in the region. Inside were brittle pages, a frantic letter from a district officer about a settlement that vanished. 1 week, it was a thriving community. The next, nothing remained but the valley. Locals whispered about a hungry silence that consumed it. There was a hand-drawn map, incomplete, and a list of family names, all marked gone. No official report, no explanation. The file just ended. It was a ghost in the records, a story with no ending. And in that moment, I knew I had to find out what happened. Daring Hollow had found me. The mystery of Daring Hollow consumed me. I searched every record, census, tax, police, but found nothing else. It was as if the place existed only in that one file. I broadened my search to missing persons from the 1930s. I found scattered reports, a merchant, botanists, a trekker, all vanished near the same unnamed valley. The authorities blamed wild animals or the terrain, but I saw a pattern. I compared the old map to satellite images and found a matching, unmarked valley. When I asked locals, most denied knowing it. The oldest grew fearful, warning, "Some places are best left alone." A retired forest guard whispered, his grandfather called it Shunyagati, the hollow of nothingness. He said it was a place where the world was thin, where things could get lost in time. The silence there was watchful, unnatural. "Don't go looking for it," he warned. "It looks for people itself." His words should have scared me off, but they sealed my resolve. I had to see Daring Hollow for myself. I was already in too deep. Armed with research and reckless confidence, I planned my journey. I told my family I was trekking with friends, packed my gear, and drove to the last village before the wilderness. The villagers' friendliness vanished when I asked about the valley. "That is a cursed place," an old woman warned. "The air is sick. Turn back." No one would guide me. I was on my own. I left my jeep and trekked on foot, following the faint trail from the old map. The path was overgrown, the world growing quieter with every step. The usual forest sounds faded, replaced by a heavy, unnatural silence. All I could hear was my own heartbeat. At the edge of a steep slope, I saw the valley. Daring Hollow. The sun was setting, shadows stretching across the misty floor. A cold mist rose from the ground and dread settled in my stomach. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but I pressed on. I tightened my backpack and began my descent. The hollow waited below. I stepped into its silence. The mist thickened as I entered the valley, chilling me to the bone. Through the fog I saw houses, small cottages, perfectly preserved, doors hung open, windows unbroken, as if the owners had just stepped out. Inside, everything was covered in thick dust, but undisturbed. Tables set, dolls on the floor, beds made. No sign of struggle, just an eerie, orderly emptiness. Every house was the same. Life paused in an instant. The dread grew with every step. This was not a place of death, but of absolute absence. In the center of the settlement, I found a circle of black stones, smooth, cold, and carved with strange symbols. The ground inside was barren, not a blade of grass. The stones radiated a low, humming energy. I knew I'd found the heart of the hollow. The wrongness was strongest here. I felt watched, as if the valley itself was aware of me. I realized I was not alone. As dusk fell, the fog thickened, and I took shelter in a cottage. The silence was suffocating, alive. Then came the whispers, soft, sibilant, from the walls and the fog. I shone my torch around, but saw nothing. The whispers grew louder, closer, as if a crowd was murmuring just outside. Objects began to move. The door creaked open. The doll's head turned. A cup slid across the table. The reality of the cottage bent to a will not my own. The whispers swirled inside the room, and I saw them. Shadowy figures in the fog, human-shaped voids. They didn't move, just watched. The silence returned, heavier than before. I felt a pull, a hypnotic urge to step into the stone circle. The thought was comforting, and that terrified me most. Somehow I broke free from the pull. Terror gave me strength. I grabbed my pack and ran, not toward the shadows, but up the valley wall. I stumbled, clawed, and finally reached the ridge, collapsing on solid ground. When I looked back, the valley was gone, swallowed by churning black fog. I ran through the forest, the silence now a relief. When I reached the village, it was the next afternoon. I'd lost time. My camera's memory was wiped clean. No evidence, just scratches and terror. Back in my normal life, nothing is the same. I hear whispers at night, see shadows where none should be. The feeling of being watched never left me. Daring Hollow followed me home. My story is a warning. Don't seek the dark places on the map. Don't follow the whispers in the archives. Curiosity is dangerous, and some doors can never be closed again. Thank you for listening. If you felt a chill you can't explain, or seen a shadow that shouldn't be there, you're not alone. Sometimes the hollow finds you. You've just wandered into a place where fact and nightmare intertwine. If the story lingers in your thoughts tonight, then you've truly felt its echo. This is Veylin Noct, thanking you for joining me here on Haunting Resonance. Until we meet again in the shadows, stay curious, but tread carefully.